Hi, and welcome to the SEO podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing. My name is Chris Burris, owner of eWebStyle.
I am Charles Lewis, your internet marketing specialist.
Welcome back to another fun-filled edition of our podcast. This is podcast number 278, and this feels weird for us because we changed cameras, and the new camera is way over there. I'm used to like somebody with a big old eyeballs.
A lot of weird stuff. The camera's far. We got the umbrella in here. The visuals should be a lot clearer to those who happen to be watching.
Yeah.
What I'm curious to see is how much lossless we have when we upload from Ustream to YouTube.
Oh yeah,
right.
See, yeah.
It should be a little better.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's definitely weird. So
podcast getting better, hopefully. Like I said, this is podcast number 278. In the previous podcast, we had this tip: do the proper research when creating content to build credibility.
Yeah, anytime you're creating content that you intend on publishing, that you intend on sharing, that you want people to absorb, to read, to use, do the proper research. Make sure you have the right outbound links. Make sure that the content you're creating is actually factual and that it's true and real, that it's relevant. And the only way you can do that is by doing the right research. And when you do that, then you do build that credibility, and users will share it. They will appreciate it because they can trust it.
Yep.
Research builds trust, builds credibility, which should lead to great content and leads, frankly.
So I think the moral of that is just opinion blogs all by themselves are not, not necessarily the way you want to go if you're going to be a credible source.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to be a credible source for your own opinion.
For your own opinion.
Then there's only one better. I don't know who it is, but there's got to be one better. All right, remember we are broadcasting live from Houston, Texas. And we are your friendly local neighborhood
top position snatchers,
where our mantra is
don't be a douche.
Do not be a douche. So we do have an article today, and that article is...
Man, I want to give a quick punch in the face to Scott Gerber and the guys over at Search Engine Journal. He posted an article, 13 unexpectedly great marketing tactics.
Ooh.
13 unexpectedly great marketing tactics.
The lucky number, yeah.
Exactly. So we'll dive in. He has some pretty good ones. Of course, we'll tie this into online marketing because that's what we do. And stay tuned. I think you'll like it.
Excellent. All right. So if you're new to the podcast, howdy, welcome.
Welcome.
Glad you can join us. We're going
to
get through what we call the potatoes here shortly. We'll get to the meat of the podcast. But don't skip the potatoes because we kind of think they're tasty.
Yeah.
Normally,
like garlic roasted.
Normally what I would do is actually go into this segment about how you can leave us a review. Today we don't do that. And the reason we don't do that is because at least 10 people have additional people have followed us or liked
Twitter,
us or whatever.
Instagram, Facebook, that we've got 10 new fans across the board.
And in this case, it's 10 new ones on our Best SEO podcast.
Oh,
right?
okay,
So
cool.
we got 1658. I thought about leaving it off, but I'm like, we'll leave it on. We get 10 new people who are following us on our Twitter Best SEO podcast page. Then boom, we don't do the review section. What we do though is we tell you ways that you can follow us, haunt us, and harass us. And actually, we skipped one part. If you can, and you see the screen behind us, there's these things like hashtags and @. What should they do with that?
Tweet us. Tweet us, Instagram us, Facebook us, but just make sure when you do that, you use the hashtag SEO podcast. This is number 278. On Twitter, be sure to tag us in it @eWebStyle, @Best SEO Podcast. That way we can follow you back and do all of our social networking stuff.
Excellent. And there are ways that you can follow us other than just that. You can do facebook.com/eWebStyle, twitter.com/eWebStyle. There's also youtube.com/eWebStyle and instagram.com/eWebStyle. All of those are ways that you can haunt us, stalk us, harass us, and we really appreciate that. If you are a PHP expert, a WordPress extraordinaire guru, we're probably looking for you. Please call, leave an audio resume, 713-510-7846. If you are looking for a website analysis, you can get one at our website, which is
ewebstyle.com.
ewebstyle.com. There you will find somewhere a link to our website analysis. I just got to one. It was less than 30 days old, so I was kind of celebrating. And by the way, punch in the face to that, Scott Wimhoff. Now, he's with homeproinsider.com. And one of the things that I gave him advice about is that the domain in no way reflects what he does. because he does aerial photography. You know, with those drones.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get that from the name.
Yeah,
I assumed he was maybe real estate.
An expert inside
Something
real estate
with Home Pro
or
Insider. It could have been.
It's real estate for sure. We got
maybe
real estate.
like it could have been like remodels. It could have been. Okay.
Yeah. So that's something that maybe he'll be doing. Maybe getting a DBA and changing it to luxury apartment aerial videographer,
Okay,
right?
there you go,
Because he's got his website is beautiful. The website again, homeproinsider.com's got some beautiful aerial videos. Yeah, where the drone is flying through the gazebo across the pool. I mean, it's just really cool stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, he called for a free website analysis. Within 30 days, we got back to him, and he's got his website analysis. Do we have any Algo Cat today?
We do have some Algo Cat.
It is time for our favorite segment of the podcast, the Algorithm Cataclysm.
All right, so that's the new camera effect we're going to have to work on.
Yeah, I gotta read. I need like
reach it?
I need a Cataclysm prod.
So dig this. So remember we talked about Google and Twitter renewing their relationship, and now eventually we would start seeing live tweets and things like that in the search results page.
Right.
That's rolled out.
Okay.
It's official now. Only difference is they haven't rolled it out for desktop searches yet.
Interesting.
They've only did it for mobile and the way they present them. So it's not like inside your search results page you will see, Twitter feeds sprinkled in. Nope, they did a Twitter carousel. And so showing tweets related to whatever you search.
Across the top?
Across the top, only on mobile devices.
Interesting. I can kind of see that because when I'm on my mobile device, I'm kind of looking for short bits of information.
Exactly.
I don't really want to read long articles.
I'm not going to click this link.
Yeah.
Like, depends on where I'm at.
Yeah.
If I'm on my phone just procrastinating, trying to kill some time, I'm waiting, I will definitely read it. But, if I'm waiting in line, no, that tweet is just what I need.
Yeah. I can get through about 3 tweets before
before I need to place my order.
Yep.
Or whatever I'm doing. So that's the Algo Cat, man. I think it's a good deal. I think what the marketing takeaway from that is make sure you're tweeting. Make sure you're being social. Make sure not only that you're tweeting, but that you're tweeting information and your tweets include
keywords for which you would like to be displayed.
Exactly.
Wow.
So you can't just be tweeting out random stuff, tweet stuff that has value, that includes links back to your site, and more importantly, that includes phrases that people actually look for.
Yep. Awesome. That was our Algorithm Cataclysm. All right, so I've just got one piece of news that I thought was kind of, you got some pieces?
I got news.
Let me get something off topic, and David Letterman. Right, last show.
Pieces, dude.
Yeah, amazing. What was amazing to see was I was watching Conan O'Brien. I don't really watch him very often, but he was on, and his whole monologue, he talked about how he started a show, and then David actually came on the show. And until David Letterman came on to the Conan O'Brien show, his show was tanking. And then David Letterman came on, and everything changed. Like the whole attitude at the office, hey, if he's willing to come here, then we probably can make it, and all that stuff. And so he was appreciative. He said because his show, they're offset by 20 minutes or something. He said the minute that his show came on air, David Letterman's on a other channel, he was going to let people know. And he told them, go watch David Letterman. And that's cool.
That's called paying respect.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate
you opened doors. You kept the door open after Johnny Carson, if you will. So, and remember, he created a show after Johnny Carson. There was only the late night Johnny Carson show, and then David Letterman
came with
just breaking barriers. Amazing guy. So very cool. And how about some more news?
So I got all kind of news here, industry-related news. First, so I thought this was actually kind of interesting. YP, Yellow Pages, partnered up with Uber.
Okay.
Partnered up with Uber, bringing cars to your door. So, but now dig this, though. They tied it to restaurants. So going down that whole path.
Interesting.
Yes, and so you can literally search for a restaurant on, let's say, yp.com, and the link you will see says, hey, do you need an Uber to get there?
Send a vehicle.
Send a vehicle.
Wow.
Uber, punch in the face to you guys. They making huge strides. Matter of fact, do you realize they also just hired Google's former SVP of communications?
I think I'd seen something along those lines.
Left Google and went to work at Uber. Dude, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are apparently doing something right. More news. Bing hit 20% of search share.
Wow. Is that up or down?
That's up.
Wow.
It jumped 2 percentage points, so I thought that was pretty cool. Last one, speaking of jumped up, Google posted their first quarter profits of 2015, $3.59 billion for the first quarter.
Wow.
It's a slight increase from the 3.4 same period last year.
Wow.
And my last bit of news, man, this goes to a punch in the face to my guy Matt Mullenweg, man. He's the owner of Automatic. Automatic is the company that founded WordPress, and they just bought out Woo Themes, $30 million purchase for Woo Themes. And so Woo Themes is the company that built WooCommerce and does all of the kind of WordPress,
a lot of theme
e-commerce
stuff too, right?
Yeah, a lot of theme stuff. And so I understand the purchase, right? Especially with WooCommerce being, what was the number? 24% of all e-commerce sites.
Wow.
Run one. Now Magento had a bigger percentage, ironically, which probably won't last long.
Not for long,
especially considering our recent experience.
Yeah.
And we're actually using that in the example in today's content.
Oh, okay.
And so about
cool.
that specific
Yeah,
situation.
you can learn a little bit about pains that we've experienced with Magento and frankly the joy of working with WooCommerce.
Yeah. So that's my news. Oh, the last one, man, and this shouldn't come new to most of my people out there who do SEO. Is Google is no longer calling it Webmaster Tools.
Right.
It's rebranded to Google Search Console.
Okay.
I think the name is lame. I understand the purpose of changing from Webmaster Tools because I don't consider myself a webmaster. You know what I'm saying? But Google Search Console just seems a bit lame.
Maybe
could have came up with something.
Search
better.
God Console.
Yeah, just called it, chucking them.
Top position snatcher dashboard
console. You know what I'm saying?
Dashboard.
Exactly. So that's my news, man. But I'm excited for the changes Google is making. They're applying a lot more tools in Webmaster in the Google Search Console. If you haven't logged in frequently, you should. Yeah, go check it out.
Excellent. That's a pro tip, free. All right. So any more petiffs or anything?
You got a petiff?
I tell you what. Let me do this review, and then we'll get to the petiff. So So this was on Facebook. This is from Adam Butler, and it is 5 stars. It says, I've been listening for years, since the way back days in 2011. No question your podcast is one of the best SEO resources on the internet, and by far the most entertaining. Thank you. Punch in the face, Mr. Adam Butler. Thanks for making it not boring and keeping us on top of the latest algo cats. You've taught me well and helped me succeed with my job more than you'll ever know. Punch in the face for life.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'm glad it's working for you. Appreciate that. That means a lot. It really does.
It does. You didn't have a link. We're gonna giving you a little link love, but punch in the we'll give you the punch in the face love that you deserve.
Dang,
Adam Butler. It's cool when people call in and they've been podcast listeners. I always ask, so how many have you listened to? Because I don't really want to say, punch in the face to you, to somebody who's only listened to one. At about 3,
you kind of get it.
They should get it, right? So, punch in the face to you, Mr. Butler on Facebook.
This other punch in the face goes to Bavarian Window Clean. Hit us up on Twitter, @BavarianWC. Says, at eWebStyle, how about this for the next Google algorithm adjustment? The Placostomus update. Get mobile or get sucked out of your ranking. I thought that was funny. Now, ironically, as big as Mobilegeddon was, as big as Mopocalypse was, it was only less than 2% of sites that were affected, and it wasn't the end of the world like they predicted it to be.
Yeah.
And so, I think, as a matter of fact, I read an article where they said Google was just toying with us, making sure we shape up the internet, just like with the SSL kind of update.
Yeah.
There's frankly sites that have changed to SSL. They're still being displayed as non-SSL. And so, we just have people making mobile-friendly sites and more secure servers because Google said so.
And we said, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Google. Yes, sir. How fast?
How fast?
April 5th, 14th, or whatever the name was?
Yeah.
April 16th?
21st, sir? Okay.
Yes, sir. Done by then.
Exactly.
In our case, it was just checked because everything checked. But we did check. Cool.
Yeah, we checked. That's it. That's all I got for petiffs.
Excellent. That is the podcast of our potatoes. It's now time to get into the podcast of our meat and take it away, Chuck.
Yeah, so like I said, punch in the face to Scott Gerber, man, posted this article, and I'm hoping it's Gerber and not Gerber. Anyway, 13 Unexpectedly Great Marketing Tactics. And I thought it was a pretty good article. And so let's dig right in. Number one, he says, show your vulnerability. He goes on to say, instead of focusing on the message that the company wants to share, focus on what the company is scared to share. And you know what, Scott? I agree. I think sometimes we get into a complacent where you begin posting information that you only want to share, that you think will rank, that you think will generate leads, when a lot of times people want to see what's real. They want to see what's bothering you. They want to see how you handled adverse situations. And I think it's okay. It's okay to highlight that you're human and that you make mistakes. Matter of fact, part of our sales process, we go through a slide where we tell you, look, we will probably mess up and we will fix it. And that's just how things happen. When you think about our previous talk we were just having, you know, we learned a lot about Magento.
Yeah.
And they're just working through that. We had literally 2 sites where we were merging into one site. One was a WordPress blog kind of static site. The other one was a Magento cart. Well, let's merge them and build it in WooCommerce. And we ended up doing it in Magento and had a really huge headache, really big problem.
Slow. It was hard to manage.
It wasn't very intuitive.
Marginally responsive.
Yeah, the responsiveness was a whole nother monster. Long story short, we ended up rebuilding it again.
One of our team members came to us on a Friday and was like, you know what, I can have this ready on Monday.
In WooCommerce or
WordPress. We're like,
and we did it, and so the client was a little frustrated, to be honest with you guys. Punching the face to Jay, yeah. And punching the face to big data, like for allowing us to make that mistake and still move forward.
Yeah.
And so now the site's up, it's being optimized, it's already ranking, it's fully responsive, it's a lot faster.
You got a lead already.
You got 2 leads already, and probably a closed deal. And so I'm gonna check some analytics later. So
we launched that on Monday night. Yeah, it's Friday.
Exactly. So punch in the face to WordPress and WooCommerce for that. But like he was saying, we showed our vulnerability. We're actually doing that right now.
Yeah.
Right, showing you where we've made mistakes and how we improve those. And so as you create content, use those mistakes as ways to educate people on what you do and how you do it, and frankly how they can use your service. It's really a testament to the level of service that you can provide.
Yep.
By showing that. So number 2, he says highlight negative offers and highlight negatives and offer solutions. Right? And we're talking about marketing tactics. He says we find that using negative superlatives in the title gets a much better click-through rate. And he's right. Unfortunately, people gravitate to negativity. I don't care what it is. If it's a negative headline, like I don't know, cop kills another black kid, I'm gonna click it. We're all gonna click it.
Right.
It just happens. Negative reviews, for some reason they stand out more than the positive ones, even with less stars.
Yeah.
It just happens that way. So negativity, unfortunately, creates traffic. And so what he's saying is highlight negative things, but offer a solution, which is the key part. You can't just be negative without telling people why you're doing that. So if you're going to go down that path, then make sure you have some positive reinforcement. Make sure that you have enough, positive content to support that. So that way you can kind of change the mindset of people. Number 3. He says, so showcase dynamic visuals, right? And again, we're talking about marketing tactics. So these visuals could be on the web, they could be print, they could be wherever. But in case of the web, he says, make sure your visuals don't look like an ad. He's absolutely correct, because I have, I was going to say ADR.
Yeah,
like a radar.
I like that.
ADR. I got ADR. So I say, that's an ad. Don't look at it. Block it.
Like it gets the blur, like the pornography blur over it.
Exactly. By default. And so I think the key is either be an ad or don't be an ad. Right? If you're going to be an ad, then make it an ad and let everybody know this is an ad, and they'll probably appreciate that, versus some graphic that's trying to slip through my Facebook feed and it looks like it's from one of my people, but it's actually an ad. That's frustrating, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I think a good example who does this extremely well, Foot Locker. Foot Locker, for example, Foot Locker will release a picture of a new shoe with no content. Just the shoe. No release date, no nothing, just the shoe. And now everybody's like, man, when does this shoe come out? What shoe is this? How does it blah, 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 blah. It goes viral. And then after it goes viral, then they release another one, same shoe, with the release date, with the ad, with all of this information, right? Either ad or not an ad. But the key is a quality visual, right? And so anytime you're doing anything online where people, you know, is far and few in between,
Right.
Your visual has to be on point. Hopefully we're improving our visual now. Like some feedback on that.
Should be high def.
Number 4. He says leverage, speaking of Instagram, leverage Instagram for promoting written content. This is a great idea. People do it all the time. People say, how can you do that when Instagram is full of photos and videos? Because you can put links in your bio, because people will type what they see, and it just works that way. Matter of fact, he goes on to say, I put up a screenshot on my Instagram account. He says, I put up a screenshot on my Instagram account. The post ends up getting likes and comments from other entrepreneurs and new customers. So I'll say this, IG works for more than just images. And here's a pro tip.
Pro tip.
So pro tip in regards to
I do want a pro tip.
You do want a pro tip?
Thanks for asking.
No problem. So dig this. If you're going to use Instagram for promoting content,
right,
take the featured image,
right,
that you're using on your blog post. You should have a featured image, right? Take that featured image, make that your Instagram image. Take the title of your post, make that the meme text on your image.
Yep.
Right? Put the link to that post in your bio and in the comments of that image, and then share that. And then share that. And so now what you have is on Instagram, you have your featured image. Yeah, you saw the adjustment. You have your featured image, you have the title, and it's all on an image that people can double tap it, they can like it, they can share it. More importantly, when they do get to the post, there's that sense of consistency,
right,
in regards
continuity,
to what they're seeing. Yeah. Continuity is the word I was looking for. Use your featured images for Instagram posts to promote your blog post. Pro tip, you heard it here first. Number 5. He says, offer real world experiences, right? Offer real world experiences. People enjoy reading posts that they can relate to. I totally agree. We talked about that earlier. People, you know, are you posting opinions or are you posting real stuff?
Yeah.
And so, you know, people can relate. I added this, real is always better than fake. Yeah. At the end of the day, people want to look for real examples. That's why I gave you a real Foot Locker example earlier. That was real. Like, that just happened today. The Bread 11s, the Jordan 11s come out tomorrow. You know, and so they did that. Yeah. You know, the cop killing a black kid, that's a real example that we gave earlier. So use real world situations in your content when you can, because not only will people relate to it, but it'll be relevant. It'll likely rank faster, right? And then you can show how your company is either for or against whatever it is you're talking about. The next one.
6.
Thank you.
I think it's 6.
Yeah. Right where your customers are.
Here's one pro tip, by the way. Label the item numbers that you have in your 13 item list.
Yeah, right where your customers are. Right, he says your first instinct will be to start writing tons of articles on your blog. This is wrong. If you build it, they will come. Rarely works for startups. Instead, publish posts on sites that your customers actually read.
Yep.
Maybe. I get it.
At least every now and then.
At least every now and then. But, man, if you're taking the time to create great content and it has this, man, I'm a firm believer that content deserves to be on your domain name, on your site. Right? People shouldn't find that content somewhere else. They should find it on your site. You want your site to rank. Your site has your CTAs, it has your USPs, it has your CCPs. Your sales funnel starts at your site. Your conversion happens on your site. Your phone number is on your site. All of the rest of your content is on your site.
They get on your newsletter on your site.
On your site. Your social media, connections are all on your site. So I understand about
for beginners, for when you're getting started,
content
absolutely.
In other places, but man, look, I would rather put that hard worked content on your site, maybe remix it a shorter version that you post somewhere else with links. I would definitely go that path rather than just post that content over there.
Yep.
Number 7, focus on emotional content. He says marketing content should also be descriptive, yet leave enough to the imagination discreetness that warrants anticipation of your next article or blog post. You're absolutely right. Anytime you can tie an emotion to your content, whatever that emotion is, whether it's fear or whether it's joy, whether it's love, whether it's hate, whether it's anger, frustration, happiness, whatever that emotion
indigestion.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're
Which,
writing
by the
about
way,
Mexican food in Tums, you know.
in improv, we would stop our improv show, and the orchestrator MC would ask for an emotion, and we would constantly get constipated. It's apparently an emotion.
Yeah, didn't know that was an emotion. Thought that was a feeling.
Yeah.
But, you know.
It may make you emotional, sense of fear, sense of being hurried.
Yeah, some anger maybe,
Yeah.
depending on what you ate. But use emotional content when you can. Find issues that people feel passionate about,
Yeah.
right? And then write about those. And now the good thing is, I think the thing to be careful about is making sure that these type of posts are relevant to your service, to your product, to your business, to what it is you exactly do. Don't just go find some random topic that
Right.
people are passionate about and decide to write about it from your own perspective. That's something you may want to do on your personal blog. But if this is for your company, then make sure it's relevant to what your company does, and make sure your company can at least help that situation or make it better or improve it, and then offer that type of insight in your article.
8.
Thank you. Use over ask, right? He says, it will feel strange to be so frank, but your audience will respond and your content will reach more people because of it. Over ask is literally, he's just saying, ask people to do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
If you want them to retweet this, then tell them, please retweet this. Share this on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Like, share this post. Like, if you tell people to do it, then they usually do
it.
Especially if,
or at least they're significantly more likely to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially if these are people who are fans, these people already follow you, these people already absorb your content, they already value what you put out, then they'll likely share it. They will likely disperse it to their people because they trust it, right? Their credibility we talked about earlier. And more importantly, you ask them to do it.
Yep.
So yeah, don't be afraid to ask. Number 9.
9.
He says, schedule your content calendar.
Yeah, we've talked about this in podcasts
before.
Yeah.
Schedule your content calendar. It's important. He says, simply writing down when and what you will publish and sticking to the calendar actually works.
Yep.
And it does. It does. When you have that kind of default calendar, the things you want to write about and when you want to write about them, and then you stick to it, then you notice your site begins to grow. The people who follow you begin to anticipate when your new content is coming out. More importantly, and this is what I added, this allows you to proactively determine the type of content and events and things like that you want to write about.
Right.
For example, if it's we're middle of May, almost the end of May, and so we know we have summertime coming up. In 3 months, it'll be back to school time, and so with that sort of information, you can begin to structure your next 90 days worth of posts based off what's going on in the world. Eventually, people are going to be looking for, I don't know, school supplies, school clothes, things like that. And if you sell that type of stuff, then you want to schedule your content around it and begin crafting articles, doing the research, building up credibility so you can be posting on time. Right, create a content schedule and stick to it. It's extremely important. Number 10. Put slides on SlideShare, which, by the way, let me just say is a great way to build links. Yep. But he says the SlideShare decks regularly get hundreds of thousands of views, and you can link outside to your website from these slides. At the end of the day, man, repurpose your content after you've written it, after you've shared it. Figure out different ways you can promote it, right? I mean, we've talked about it over and over again. You're probably watching a live stream now. If you didn't watch the live stream, you may watch a YouTube version of it later. Maybe you're not a watcher at all, you're a listener, and so you got this from either Stitcher or iTunes, or maybe you want to read it, and so you went to our site and you read the transcription of it. Either
probably
way
not.
It goes, yeah, probably not.
I'm just going to throw that out there.
It's probably entertaining to read.
Yeah.
It's like in play format, like Chris Chuck. But anyway, it's repurposing the content. We could very well take this same content and probably could create a SlideShare deck out of it,
right? And
link to it, and link to Scott's page, and do those things like that.
It turns into a newsletter.
It also goes into a newsletter.
Yeah,
exactly. So repurpose your content, and SlideShare is a great place to do that. Number 11, he says use infographics. They are a visually appealing way to portray information to viewers. I love infographics, and I also hate infographics. So my point here is, if you're going to use them, Make sure they make sense.
Yes.
Make sure they're done right. I hate getting those infographics where it's just busyness.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at.
I don't exactly. My eyes hurt. You know, arrows and this and that and graphs, and I'm like, I don't even know. I finished the infographic and didn't get any information.
Right.
Or it was too much. You're gonna use infographics because they do work. They really do work. Just make sure you're doing them in the right way. Make sure that they're designed well. Make sure that it flows easy. And it shouldn't take 20 minutes to understand it. It should be, it's an image. You should be able to absorb that information pretty quickly. Number 12. He says, utilize guest writers. Building partnerships with established or up-and-coming bloggers in a similar or compatible industry, and you can leverage their expertise and their audience. And he's right. Anytime you can collaborate with people is what I added, and it kind of makes me think of the creative biz ideas, right? So here's an opportunity where we have a partner of ours does video, Punch in the Face to Vids Inc. and Nolan, and
new website coming soon.
Yeah, and it makes sense for us to partner with him for a radio show.
Yep, absolutely.
And so that's a way we can utilize his audience. He can benefit off of our expertise, and we all put out great content. Just works. And the last one, number 13, he says, leverage happy customers. If you can find ways to encourage your customers and users to invite their network to try out your product, then you've hit a home run. And I agree. I totally agree. Anytime you can get customers to really support and push you, then you've done a good job. Let me take this time to give a punch in the face to Heidi. Right? Because Heidi, she was like, it's a good idea, but she was like, she literally told me this the other day. I'm kind of scared to tell people you guys are my secret weapon. I get it. She's like, I don't want my competitors or anybody knowing who makes my site rank so well or my site looks so good and why my business is growing. I totally get it. And from that perspective, I'll respect that. You don't have to say nothing. And so, man, punch in the face to you, Scott Gerber, man, great article. 13 unexpectedly great marketing tactics. We'll share and post this link on Facebook and look for some feedback.
All right, that was a good article, good stuff. You got any more?
Got some blank stare.
Okay, we'll add that here in a second because I've got a. Come on, let's do
we'll get some blank stare. So I got 2 pieces of blank stare.
What?
Yeah, what? This one here goes out to Google, my favorite search engine. So you know, if you go,
is it your favorite? Yeah. Okay, just checking.
If you go to Google and you search the N word, right?
Okay.
The N word, N-I-G-G-A word. If you go there and you search it, Google returns some crazy results. Like mostly, if you search the N word with the word house, like in-house, that's what you get. White House results.
Oh. That's not funny. I'm sorry.
It kind of is, though.
Did I laugh out loud at that?
It kind of is, though. And ironically, it's almost probably a good listing, but it's wrong. And so that's like, come on, Google, really? And then they released the Google bomb, right, which is the thing they did to kind of help prevent people from linking to stuff with incorrect racist names to kind of prevent that from happening. But they hadn't done that on Google Maps.
On the White House.
It's on Google Maps. If you do it in a search, it's kind of fine. But you do it in Google Maps, big picture of the White House.
Wow.
And so, and my second what news is to the people on Craigslist selling Bluebell ice cream. $1,000 a carton. Dude says, I bought 7 cartons. I ate 3. I got 4 left. And they've been in the freezer for whenever. Dude, they're 1,000 racks a pop if you want them.
Yeah. Wow. So did you see somebody posted like an explanation to Northerners. So you Northerners, you don't understand what it is to lose Bluebell ice cream. Because for us, it's not another brand. It's the only brand. Yeah. And so to lose Bluebell means that we lose
don't eat ice cream no more. Like, it's not like, oh, just pick up Ben and Jerry's.
No,
not doing that.
You don't do that.
No, pick up what a Blue Bunny. Not happening. Yeah. Not eating ice cream no more.
H-E-B. No. So yeah. $1,000. He's probably like that's the crazy shit.
Exactly.
And it's
the marketing list for it.
And the shit's dangerous still, right? Just because he ate 3 of them, you got to take. Okay, maybe if he takes like a bowl out of each, right? But that's just stupid.
Yeah, but yeah, he said he bought them a long time ago before that situation happened.
Okay.
He's ate 3 of them. Nothing happened to him, and the other 4. Then he captured it. He was like, "Yeah, and I could eat these."
Oh, fear of loss.
Yeah, exactly.
I will eat these on Sunday. If you want them,
If you want them, you know,
you gotta pay me $1,000 before Sunday.
So that blank stick goes to him for selling them on Craigslist, and for whoever buys a $1,000 carton.
Somebody is. We know that somebody is. All right, hey, if you're looking to grow your business with the largest, simplest marketing tool on the planet,
The internet.
call eWebstyle for increased revenue in your business. Our phone number is 713-592-6724. We do have a referral program. If you send us an SEO customer and they pay their bills, we will pay you. That works pretty simply. Remember, we are broadcasting on Mondays at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Not this Monday because it's Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day to everyone out there. But on every Monday, that is not a holiday, at 7:30 Central Standard Time, just go to creativebizIdeas.com. We have been tagged the Bad Boys of Biz. So hashtag Bad Boys of Biz. We are filmed live at 5999 West 34th Street, Suite 106 in Houston, Texas. We are the most popular internet marketing podcast on iTunes. That is because of you guys, all y'all, those over there, all your foreigners.
Nim.
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 Not
even them. That's just Nim.
It's Nim. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for making us the most popular internet marketing podcast on iTunes. And I got to sneak this in. If you get a chance, write a review somewhere.
Yeah.
Stitcher would be a good one. Until the next podcast, my name is Chris Burris.
Charles Lewis.
Bye-bye for now.